Alright guys, it's day 149 from New Zealand's biggest gap year, where a couple of years ago, Robin and I did an epic challenge doing 365 activities in 365 days, all across New Zealand. And at the moment, in this video series, we are in Milford Sound, and one of the awesome hikes to do there is the Chasm, on the way to Milford Sound. So check out the video, and at the end we'll go through some of the comments you guys had about the walk the first time round when we published the video. So I'll see you at the end of this video. This morning we are waking up in the beautiful surroundings of the Milford Sound Lodge, and we are up early this morning to get to work on backpackerguide.nz until we hear a weird scratching on the roof of our camper van. Outside there is a kea, which is a native parrot here in New Zealand. They are really cheeky. They're trying to pull apart our camper van, but they are super entertaining to watch. Then it's back to work on backpackerguide.nz before hitting the road for today's activity. We are going to be doing the Chasm Walk today, which is a 20-minute loop walk, and it's located just between Milford Sound and the Homer Tunnel. Super easy to access. It's a great introduction to the native forest of the Fiordland National Park.
Alright, so we are at the Chasm. Chasm. Nobody knows how to pronounce it. It's a lovely little walk to do in Milford Sound. If you don't want to spend too much money and want to embrace the rainforest, look how thick the rainforest is around us. It's pretty amazing. You can barely see the sky, and we are only 5 minutes in. It's crazy beautiful.
A quarter of New Zealand is covered still in its native forest, and most of that forest can be found right here in the Fiordland National Park.
Although this is a really short walk, there is really heaps to see along the way. First up, there is heaps of information boards all along the way that tell us more about the native forest, the wildlife that we can see here, including the kea that we saw this morning on top of our camper van, as well as all the different plant species that we can see around. Most of the native Fiordland forest is actually beech forest, which give birth to a wealth of many different other plant species, which makes this entire forest look really thick and luxuriant. After about 10-minute walk, we can start hearing the thunderous roar of the chasm. This must mean that we're getting really close to it. A chasm is basically a lovely little stream. It's a very fancy word to say that this very powerful flow of water has carved its way through the forest and has made some really awesome rock formations along the way.
Below the bridge we can see all these potholes which have been formed by the chasm. It's this really deep canyon with epic waterfalls making their way through, and then you can see there's rocks which have moss and different vegetation trying to hold on and trying to grow again, but the water is just too powerful. We can even see tree trunks that have been wedged in between the chasm as well. It's really epic to see. All these round rock formations have been caused by hard rock that's been washed down from the mountains by floodwater in the Cledow River. Hard rock has swirled in the lower land soft rock and dug holes and created this huge chasm. Or at least that's what the information sign says at the end of the bridge.
This walk is a really great pit stop on your way down to Milford Sound. The drive, as you saw a few days ago, is very long and extremely torturous, so it's really cool to have some awesome places like this to stop at when making your way down to the jewel of the South Island. In fact, I am pretty sure that every single bus that makes its way down to Milford Sound stops at the chasm. We've seen heaps of bus tours passing along the way while we were taking the time to photograph and film all of its little nooks and cracks.
Out of the 15 pit stops on the road to Milford Sound, which we actually list in an article on backpackerguide.nz, which we will link up in the description below, this has to be one of my favourite stops. Just the amazing sight of this water just splitting the rainforest in half is so impressive to see, and it's actually quite hard to show the size of the chasm with just filming and photos.
On top of the awesome sceneries, we are blessed with an amazing weather today. It has been raining a lot during our stay in Milford Sound, and you can definitely check that out in our previous videos. But today there is almost no cloud in sight. We have an amazing weather, and it gives us plenty of time to explore the area and all that it has to offer without being scared of being rained on at any time. After spending a good hour taking a million pictures of the chasm, we are now moving on to the rest of the walk. As mentioned, it's a really short 20-minute walk, so the rest of the loop is about all the same. It's beautiful native rainforest. We get a glimpse of the waterfalls and the little stream as well. It's an amazing lush area that is an awesome walk. This has to be one of the best examples of fjordland rainforest. So if you're not into long strenuous hike and still want to experience the fjordland rainforest, this has to be one of our top pick.
The forest is home to many different rare New Zealand bird species, like the takahe, which we actually saw in the Te Anau Bird Sanctuary the other day, and also the kakapo, which is the world's only flightless parrot. But there is so much more to do in Milford Sound, and we're going to be showing you a lot more free walks and free short walks in tomorrow's video, so make sure you check that one out as well. But for now, we're heading back towards our camper van and back down the Milford Road, just a short drive to the Milford Lodge. Oh my god, there's so many sandflies on the camera. We are coming to you live from Sandfly Central. Alright guys, I hope you found that video useful, and we're gonna have some more useful stuff coming your way, checking out the comments from the first time that we published the video. So we have Why in the World saying, "Man, I can't believe you made a whole 7-minute video out of what is basically just a one of many pit stops along the Milford Road. I was so unimpressed by the chasm. It was only a 1 to 2 minutes in my Milford Sound road trip. I guess you guys know how to tell a story of rainforests better than me." Yeah, that's the thing. The chasm is actually a really popular pit stop on the Milford Road if you're taking one of the bus tours from Te Anau or Queenstown, and it's also popular if you are driving yourself. It's definitely worth stopping by because it's such a it's still a pretty short walk. It's only about 20 minutes or so, so that's why it's a really good pit stop for the bus tours going there as well. But you know us, we kind of like to just show you every sort of detail of everything there is to do in New Zealand. So that's why we can make a whole 7-minute video out of doing a 20-minute walk. We kind of like to do stuff like that. All right, we have Scotia's Place saying, "Gorgeous little walk. It will be great for our 7-year-old who is not looking forward to doing a lot of our hikes." Yeah, this walk is definitely great for families. It's also really accessible. You can take strollers or pushchairs on this walk as well. It's really well, it's really well formed. They've done a good job, the Department of Conservation, of making a really well formed track and bridges. It's wheelchair accessible as well. So yeah, that's why it's such a popular stop as well on the Milford Road. Also for bus tours, because literally anyone can do it. It's that easy. So yeah, that's why we love this walk as well, and we thought it was well worth showing to you guys, because it's the walk that most people can do. Alright, I hope you find this video really useful, and if you want to get more information on things to do in Milford Sound, and particularly walks in Milford Sound, head to nzpocketguide.com, where we have more information available for you, free to use. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video.